Hey everybody, this is day 5, is it? Fuck, I don't even remember at this point. Um, yeah, so we're on the adventure here. Definitely today, man. I'm feeling a deep spike, or maybe a reverse spike, if you want to call it. I don't know. I feel depleted. I woke up this morning and I felt flat. I was just really, it was uncomfortable. Not anxiety anymore, like I was talking about yesterday. I don't have that low level anxiety like I've been having for the last 20 odd years, but this, it's almost just as bad. It's a deflated feeling, it's a defeated feeling, it's that voice in the back of my head, that shame spiral is starting up again. And of course, what's different this time is that I recognize it more than I used to, and I'm seeing these patterns now from, you know, I guess a third person perspective, if you will, because that doesn't sound psychopathic at all. I don't like it. I don't like it. I can feel the difference between the dopamine spikes and now the lows. The faucet's been turned off, and I knew it was coming. Yeah, there was no way I could sustain this high that I've been feeling. I tell you what, guys, I've done drugs. I've drank too much in the past. I have issues. I have addiction issues. I am actively in recovery, dealing with those. I go to groups, things like that. It has been a whirlwind year and a half of self discovery and sobriety and fixing things and damage that I've caused in the past. And, dude, being sober after you've been using for a long period of time, for a long enough time to where that's kind of become your norm. And that's what happens with addiction. That's what a lot of people don't realize. The whole metaphor of chasing the dragon. Everyone associates that with heroin. It's heroin chasing the dragon. The whole point behind that is what that means is the first time you get high or you get drunk or anything like that, it's this euphoric feeling. It's the greatest feeling you've ever felt in your life. Every other time after that, all you're really trying to do psychologically is recreate that first experience. And that first experience is the dragon. It's the mythical beast, the high. And so you're always trying to catch that again, to reclaim it. And that's part of where the addiction comes in because you repeat this pattern over and over and over again, trying to get to that same spot you were. And eventually it gets to the point where it just becomes your habit. It's your thing. You don't even know what you're chasing anymore. You're just doing it to do it because it's just become part of your identity. And you become addicted to it. And it's a psychological addiction. It can be a physical addiction, manifests in lots of different ways. Emotional addiction is huge that a lot of people don't really talk about. So back what I was saying, being sober for a year and a half now, after using for that long, and let me preface this. When I say that I used and drank and everything, I did consistently for a few decades. Not a, you know, I'm not going to get a lot of specifics here, just out of respect for other people and everything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I did. The point is, it's that when you get used to that in your daily thing, that just becomes your norm. It's no longer a high. You are high, you are drunk, you are whatever you are, but you build up this tolerance to it, and you adjust to it, and it just becomes your baseline. So when you don't have it, bad things can happen. But when you get sober and you don't have it for a long period of time, and sobriety takes over, the fog lifts, you know, and it takes a while. Getting sober, clearing your mind and everything, that is not an overnight. It's not like you stop drinking or you stop using drugs or something, and suddenly, overnight, you're like, oh, God, oh, I'm thinking clearly, and all this stuff makes sense. It does not work like that. Recovery does not. Recovery is messy, man. Recovery is long. It's hard. It sucks. It is fucking hard. But once you get through all of that, the adjustments, the lack of sleep, the confusion, the torment, the clarity that comes from having a clear mind for, any significant amount of time, your mind on its own, the sober mind, is a fucking wild, wild west. It will take you to places that you couldn't go when you were high, man. If you tap into it, I I spent so many years because my mind goes fast all the time. Like you can't fucking tell from this whole thing. I just ramble all the time. But it's my mind does not stop. It doesn't stop ever, 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 ever. I can't calm it down. They call it it's an unquiet mind. It's the phrase that I hear a lot and everything. It's always going to 11. If I use an old reference for you guys, anyone who gets that. Um, but yeah, it doesn't stop. It's always in high gear. It's always thinking, always making connections, always coming up with new ideas, always throwing things at you and everything like that. So I used to calm that down. You know, I used to have, I couldn't function because my mind would raise so much. I couldn't focus. I couldn't. It was a burden to where I couldn't sleep if I wasn't drunk or high or had something in my system to help me mitigate that noise. And that's really what it is, especially at night trying to sleep and everything. It's noise. My mind is noisy. I can't lay in a dark room with the lights off in silence and sleep. It does not happen for me because it's like laying down in a vacuum. It's you take away any outside distractions, white noise, anything going on, and it's like playtime for my mind. It has to fill up the space around me where there is no noise or sound. And when that happens, I don't sleep. I will lay there, and even my eyes shut. It's like my eyes are wide fucking open, right? It sucks. It really sucks when it comes down to it. So when I sleep, I have to put headphones in, but I can't listen to music because I'm a lifelong musician. I overanalyze. I've recorded for years, things like that. I know the tricks of the trade. I know how it works. So when I'm listening to music, I'm analyzing. My analytical brain takes over. I fucking love music. Music gets me high too, but it doesn't always help me relax when I'm trying to relax because, like I said, I go into analytical mode and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, they did this here, or I would have done this here, or I hear what they did. This is how they layered it, stuff like that. It takes over, and it almost becomes annoying, right? Because I love music so much, but sometimes I hyper focus on it and I can't turn it off. Especially when I hear something where I would have done differently, or something where I'm like, I never would have thought of that. That's really, really cool. Those are my favorite ones where I hear stuff that I never would have taken it that angle, or gone down that rabbit hole with it, or gone to that chord progression or whatever. I love interesting things that throw me for a loop. But I can't listen to music when I'm going to sleep. But I put on my headphones and I will plug in my iPad to it. And it's so annoying too because normally I would just use my iPhone to listen to stuff. But because the inputs are different on every fucking thing these days, I can't do that anymore. So I used to try and use wireless headphones to go to sleep too, but the battery would die in the middle of the night. So I have to keep the stimulus going all night because if it stops, I'll wake up and my mind will be awake all over again. So it has to be continuous throughout the night. And the wireless buds would die. So I'd wake up halfway through the night hearing and it would fucking freak me out and wake me up. And then I'd have to switch those out, unplug my iPhone, take the headphones, plug them into my iPhone. But now they've switched all the inputs, so I cannot charge my iPhone with a USB-C and plug in the headphones at the same time because Apple got rid of the headphone jack. So now I can't use the wireless buds. So I have to plug in my iPhone to let it charge overnight and use my iPad, which is still an older version that I can charge while also have my headphones plugged into it. Fucking first world problems. I get it, guys. I get it. But I don't have time for this shit right now. I work long days. I get home and try. It's not in my line of sight until I'm going to bed at night. Then I think about all this shit. I'm like, I should really fix this sometime. I never get fucking around to it. It's fine. It works for what I need. It's fine. So anyways, I got to plug in. I plug my headphones into my iPad, and I have to put on a show or something. What I really like to do is put on, like Amazon Prime has live TV. and they have like a 24/7 feed of old SNL sketches and everything like that. But what I do is I turn it down real low, so it sounds like there's people kind of talking in a room in the background, and that kind of helps mitigate the noise, so I can not focus on my mind. That fills the space. It takes my mind off of it, literally, so I can fall asleep. And then so that's what I have to do, fall asleep. But anyways, and we go back, and we go back. Fuck. Yes. So my mind takes me too high. So getting sober, it's wild when you get sober. The things that your mind thinks of, because you're used to just deadening it when you're high for so long that you don't listen to your mind anymore, and you forget how crazy it is in there. The things it thinks of, especially when you can subjectively step back and just kind of watch it work on its own, be aware that it's this thing in your own mind that's creating these things, and a lot of things that you're not generating, that's just doing it on its own. And so there's this weird symbiotic relationship between your consciousness and your mind, and it's fucking wild, man. So, um, yeah, so back to sobriety, that's what it does, because what you realize is getting sober is the first step. It's ripping the band-aid off and exposing the wound. You're like, oh, I got all this other shit I got to heal too. And so your mind goes into overdrive trying to reconnect all these patterns and disruptions and everything that's created over the years because of your usage. Literally, like I talked about yesterday, the rewiring of your mind. Because addiction rewires your mind. And so you have to undo all of that when you get sober. And that takes time. It takes time. It takes work. It takes effort. It is scary shit to confront, man. Um, because you're also in a state of arrested development. You once you start using heavily, you stop. I want to say aging, but emotional. Your emotional intelligence begins to deteriorate because you're supplementing it. So once you pull the curtains back on that, you have to really get to work. And that's what I'm in the middle of right now. And like I said, my dopamine crash last night and everything when I woke up to it is a little rough. So I'm trying to get through today. I'm trying to keep these podcasts going. I promised you guys, promised myself that I would do it leading up to my meeting. We're still a ways out from that, but just, fuck it. Give me all updates. So I'm here at work, but I will talk to you guys later. Peace.